profile. Boom, you do it.
Mm,
Step by step, click by click course instruction, access to the AI software to run the property reports and financial forecasts. We
mm,
build you a website right up front. So if you have an owner that comes to you that's like, Quintus, if I would have heard from you a month and a half ago, I would have been working with you. Let me check your
mm,
website, sleep on it, talk to my wife, and we'll firm things up. Well, if you don't have credentials, more than likely you're going to lose that business.
yeah.
So right up front, we build you a website. The value in the website is that we put our students' portfolio on your website until you've built up your own, until you get your own
Mm,
4 to 6 properties. So you can say, myself and my partners, our active portfolio is over on our website. You send them over to, whatever you build, qsbeautifulretreats.com or whatever you want. You get the
mm,
idea. But we give you a portfolio for credibility right up front. Another big value piece in the program is our private community, and we call it the listing launch. So we're not for compliance because we're very compliant as a company. We're not doing fake reviews because that's illegal,
mm,
right? But what we are doing, we call it the listing launch. We create competitive advantage from our group. So we got over 3,700 members. When you go get a brand new listing on Airbnb that is brand new with no guest reviews, well, if you post that property, typically you're going to be on page 9. You're not getting any bookings right off the bat on Airbnb. What we do with that new listing is you come post it inside of the community. Everybody goes in, we rally around each other, and we wish list the property. So on Airbnb, I'm sure you're aware, a wish list is like favoriting a property.
mm,
Well, when you get thousands of people doing that to a brand new listing, that tells Airbnb that's a popular listing that needs visibility, right? So we had a gal in Austin, Texas. She got her second property in week 3. There's over 1,000 listings in Austin. For 2.5 weeks, she was the number one listing in Austin with no guest reviews. The
Is that
purpose
because
behind
she put it in like the Telegram and then everybody just went and liked it and like sent it up on the rating list?
that, that's exactly it. So you go first and foremost working with your coach. You go get a listing, right? You're working
Mm,
with the owner. They've been on the market for 76 days as a traditional rental. They're fully
mm,
furnished. They're hemorrhaging money every single month. They're going on their third month of paying a mortgage on a property that they anticipated having rented. Now, if they let me give you a real world example. I'm up here in South Lake Tahoe, over on the
mm,
West Coast. My girl's from Las Vegas, so we're constantly to and from Southern and Northern Nevada. I'm hunting Las Vegas. I love
yeah,
that market. Well, in Las Vegas, I just found a 5 bedroom property with a pool. Right, they're asking $3,800 per month. Well, the owner's strategy, if they get a tenant at $3,800 per month, is what's 38 times 12, like 41 grand. Right,
mm,
that's the owner's strategy. They're trying to make 41,000 from their investment property. They've been unsuccessful for 76 days, two and
mm,
a half months. So they're going on month number 3, paying a mortgage on a property they can't find a tenant for. If they magically find a tenant tomorrow, they're making 41 grand over the year. That was a $311,000 Airbnb. So the whole strategy behind this is very simple. You got an owner that's on the market, can't find a tenant. Their property is at minimum 2 times, if not three, four, 5 times as profitable as a short-term rental. It's a very simple. It's not even a pitch. It's just, hey, do you have interest in this? No, do it your way. Okay, bye. Real simple.
mm,
Now, as far as what that looks like is when you go get that listing and the owner says, yeah, I'll work with you. Let's list the property. It sounds good. Well, from there, once you work with your coach to optimize that listing, and of course, we're using AI, it's all based on keyword research, the descriptions, the backlinking, the descriptions of the photos, everything else. We want to try to
mm,
optimize the listing as much as we can. Once that listing is optimized, even if you go post it on Airbnb, it's likely a brand new listing is going to be buried, right?
mm,
So what you do then with that listing is you come post it inside of the community, the private community here. Well, the students all go in and everybody knows the drill because we're all helping each other out. If somebody doesn't help you out, you're not going to help them out. It's very, it's self-explanatory. We got 3,700 plus members. But when you post a new listing, it's all hands on deck. Everybody goes in, they wish list the property on Airbnb, which brand new listing, getting thousands of people putting it on their wish list, that
mm,
tells Airbnb that that's a popular listing that needs visibility, right?
mm,
So, lady in Austin, Texas, brand new listing. There's over 1,000 listings on Airbnb. She was the number one property for 2.5 weeks. The purpose behind this listing launch that we're doing is we want you getting the most amount of bookings and reviews as possible within the shortest period of time. Because then when you do settle, and you will, once you do settle, you're going to settle and we want you ranked. You're going to do much more business on page 1, top 5 than on page 11 of Airbnb. So in the program, right, arguably the value behind just that private community for wish listing is worth whatever we wanted to charge for it. But the reason we're here, the reason why Sean and Ari did this is to actually help people build a business. It's not to do a money grab. They're doing over 2 million bucks a year, working 4 to 6 hours per week in their portfolio. They didn't have to build 10x B&B. But in the program, you're coming in, you're getting a coach, which
mm,
is going to hold your hand and walk you through step by step, click by click, step 1 in the program through phase 8. At an 80% success rate, our students are profitable within a 60 to 90 day period. We give ourselves 6 months of a refund policy guarantee because that's an eternity of a runway for us to make sure you're profitable, right?
Mhm.
So it's a done with you program. You're with your coach, access to the software, website for portfolio or website with portfolio for credibility, private community for the listing launch. It's there's no stone left unturned. If you come in and you're not successful flat out, it's because you're not doing the work.
Mhm.
I mean, it's about as simple as that. And you strike me as an entrepreneur. Do you have your own clothing line?
Yes, sir.
I love that because I saw your design on your background
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Zoom.
yeah. This is my clothing line right here. I'm an artist too.
My
I do NFTs and stuff like that.
man, that's sick. There's an old friend of mine, Kyle Van Noy. He for me, it's like an acquaintance, right? Because we played in high school together. We both went on and played Division I football, and then he went on. He
Nice.
played 12 years in the NFL. But Kyle Van Noy, number 53 on the Ravens, linebacker, if you know Kyle. But he started a not-for-profit, the Valor Foundation, and he kind of
Uh,
his logo design kind of is similar to that V. But man, what you did, that's sick.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. Especially the occult one when I first did this is the that's the mastermind one. That's like the super duper
Yeah.
locksmith of the logo.
Did you try? How are you doing that? Are you doing that with Midjourney
Well,
AI, or
no,
are you doing
I
something
did
different?
this, man. I've been doing graphic design for a long time, so that's not AI. That's freaking pencil to paper. That's I did that in Illustrator and Photoshop.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I mean, you're already an entrepreneur, true and true. So coming in, I mean, I say this as respectfully as I can. We with over 3,700 students in this program, not one of them is Superman. Nobody's coming in with a cape or X-ray vision. They're coming in, folks are coming in, getting paired with a coach through your onboarding process. We have 27 coaches. We're not going to pair you with somebody that we think is just going to be a complete terrible fit for you. We're going to listen to your experience, your
Mhm,
aspirations, your goals. We're going to try to figure out, all right, well, Quintus coming in, it's like, what is a good fit for him? How can we help him at the highest level?
mhm,
And we're going to pair you with a coach that we think is the best fit. Again, we've done this a few times. Now, you're not married to your coach. There's not handcuffs on you. We got a lot of coaches, but we're going to pair you with somebody that we think you're going to vibe with. Your coach is going to bring you through building your business step by step. There's not one person that has come through this program that came in with something special. Everybody's coming in, they're working directly with their coach, following a step by step process, getting a result.
mhm,
It's really, really simple. So I would love to have a call. You're a perfect fit. This program was built for you. I mean, there's no
mhm,
other way to say it. It's coming in, you're bringing experience as an entrepreneur that many people don't have coming in. If you choose to sink your teeth into this, you'll crush. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But if you don't crush coming in, working directly with your coach, usually that is because somewhere along the lines over a 6 month period, you've chosen to give up. And if you're not going to give up, if you're going to come in and actually do the work to build a business, which
mhm.
is real work, you're going to absolutely dominate.
What do people usually see in their first like 3 months?
Well, the program was so on at an 80% success rate. So it's
Mhm,
not even average because average would be 50%. At an
mhm,
80% clip, we are getting people their first 1 to 2 properties in month one at an
mhm,
80% success rate. We expect you to be profitable over a 60 to 90-day period, meaning you've banked over 15K with your financing paid off within a 60 to 90-day period. That's the way it was designed. If nothing goes right, you're out of pocket less than 2,500 with a full refund guarantee. We expect you to be 15K in pocket over a 60 to 90-day
No,
period. We
I
do that
seen
on
a
an
YouTube
80%
video. It
success
might
rate.
not have been the right one, but he was saying, I know you make 20%. So if you're renting Airbnb for $2,000, you might get $200. How do you go from that? Because because I was when I was looking, I was like, okay, well, you make like $5,000 extra. So I
Now,
was
check
like,
this
how
out.
do
I'll
you
give you
get to
just
that far?
Yeah, let me just show you. I'll show you a real quick example here. Is and actually, before I bring this up, I'll say, well, there's 3 ways to get into Airbnb. Sorry, I'll share that with you in just a second. But there's 3 ways to get into Airbnb. I'll kind of take you through a brief foundational call here just
Yeah,
to give you some.
because and then just to be clear too, because like you said, I don't want to waste your time either. But yeah, I'm very intrigued, and I do have a space where I can probably find that financing, especially my business partner likes this, because we're literally
Sure.
we was finna go in and start doing Airbnbs ourselves, but we have a new idea. I don't know if I want to give away the IP yet, but it's a cool. It's not like brand new. It's almost like glamping. That's just I give you that part. It's like a glamping kind of thing where you get like
Yeah.
campers. We're gonna get some land to get campers and run the
Check this out.
Airbnb.
Check this out. So for me, I love that because you got an
Mhm.
entrepreneurial mind. I'll tell you, proof of concept for that is there, right? Just so you're not
Okay.
guessing. But I'll tell you. So one of my part because I mentioned 10 years ago when I started in real estate, I
Mm.
decided 4.5 years into that, I got to start a team, or otherwise I'm going
Mm.
to be a monkey on a string the rest of my life.
Right.
So 4.5 years into my business, I started building my team. Well, now my team is 171 agents directly
Wow.
underneath me. I got 171 real estate agents in 13 states and 3 countries. Last year, we just passed 86 million in gross sales for the year. Well, one of my partners on my team, right? I recruited him. He's a broker out of Hawaii. And I
Mm.
recruited him. And he goes, man, I'm just exhausted by selling real estate in Hawaii. It's a real, it's lucrative, but he's just like, man, this Waikiki, the shitty, excuse me, but he's like, I'm over it. But what he ended up doing, he relocated his whole family to Idaho. And what they
Mhm.
did over the course of the past, roughly, I think it was 2.5 years, almost 18 to 24 months, something that within that ballpark,
Mhm.
he bought a piece of land. He had a primary residence on it. He built a campground, teepees, right? So
Yes, that's
glamping, like
exactly the business model. TPs. We will do TP. I didn't want to say it,
yeah, it's
but yeah, we're gonna do
you should look it
TPs.
up. I'd have to look it up for you to get you the actual name of it, but it's like North Idaho Campground, and it's my partner Monroe, and him and his wife built up this campground, and they're huge, oversized teepees. They're like,
Yes, that's
15-foot
literally
diameter
exactly
teepees.
what we want to do because we're in Georgia because there's not a lot of people doing it out here. It's not like a lot of campgrounds like that.
That's a killer idea. And well, good on you guys because you're already moving and shaking. Um, But what I was going to tell you is there's three ways to get into Airbnb. Well, one is you purchase a property, you purchase it, you furnish it, you list it. There's nothing wrong with
Mm.
doing that. Real estate's changed my life. I'm sure you believe in it as an investment vehicle. There's
Mm.
just a lot of money due up front. Typically 20% down for a DSCR investor mortgage, furnishing costs, then you're carrying a mortgage, excuse me, when you list it.
Mm.
So there's a lot of money due up front, but nothing wrong with that. You still want to analyze a property for profitability in advance, even if you're going to purchase it.
Mm.
The second way to get into Airbnb is called arbitrage. We don't love arbitrage because of the risk profile.
Mm.
So with arbitrage, you're signing a formal lease agreement with an owner. On paper, you're the tenant. Presumably, you're coming out of pocket for a security deposit. You're coming out of pocket to furnish the property. And then in the event that something unforeseen or out of your control happens, COVID, hopefully not, but COVID,
Mm.
fill in the blank, the Taylor Swift concert gets canceled, whatever it is, you're coming out of pocket for rent. So there's a personal guarantee. So you're out of pocket to furnish, but you're not going to go scale a 10 property arbitrage portfolio because if something goes wrong, you got 10 rents that are due. It doesn't make any
Mm.
sense to carry that risk. The third way to get into Airbnb is co-listing, which is what we're doing here. You don't rent
Mm.
the property, you don't own the property formally. We're only going after properties that are fully furnished. In the event that the property doesn't pencil in any given month, you have no financial obligation to the owner. No money due up front, no risk if something goes wrong.
Mm.
The way that we teach this business model is three steps: locate, negotiate, and automate. We're going to locate a profitable property based on data, not based on emotion or assumption.
Mm.
Right, thinking it's going to do good, and then 6 months down the road, you find out it breaks even or loses money. Locate a profitable property based on data, negotiate a co-listing agreement, and then you already know in any business you don't make money in operations. Right, you're
Mm.
not going to make any additional money in this business by babysitting your cleaning staff or by checking somebody in at 11 p.m. when they forget the Wi-Fi password.
Mm.
Right. So we automate with 4 SOPs. We automate 95% of this business. So you can spend your time on the revenue generating activity, which is finding more properties, increasing the size
Right.
of your portfolio. So what I wanted to show you really quickly here is the way that this works in terms of, let me just show you, I wanted to show you an example just so you can kind of get a feel for this here. But the way that this works is on average, you're charging 20 to 35%. On average, that 20 to 35% winds up being 2 to 5K per month per property for you. And I wanted to give you an example of what a few of these look like. Let me just grab this one actually. Yeah, here we go. And then can you see my screen? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
So what we're doing anywhere online where properties are listed for rent, right? And you can do this anywhere. And you already know this. Most people get handcuffs because they think you can only do this in your backyard. One of our guys, he lives in Texas. His first property was a penthouse in Rio de Janeiro. Now he's got properties in Croatia, England, and Australia. He's not flying around the world to check guests in and out or to babysit his cleaners. You can do this
Mm.
anywhere. You're in a great market. If you choose to do this in your backyard in the Atlanta metro, great, but you can do this anywhere you want. You're going to go to where the money's at. Anywhere online where properties are listed for rent, Facebook Marketplace, Furnish Finders, HotPads.com, Craigslist, Zillow, we're going on there and we're finding these properties. The whole foundation of this business model is the owners online listed for rent. Well, their plan is to make this, right? So in this case, the owners, they were charging like 4,500 bucks a month. Well, we know that the property has been vacant for at least a month, or we wouldn't even have put it through the analyzer, right? And I'm just kind of giving you
Mm.
the Cliff Notes version. Properties listed for rent, it's over a month old. In some cases, it's been multiple months. Well, if the owner finds a tenant tomorrow, they're going to make this. As an Airbnb, they're going to make this. So They're trying to make 53 grand. There's 176 grand properties in Airbnb. Now, the general rule of thumb here is the gross revenue that the property is going to bring in less your fee. So after you've been paid, what the owner is going to put in their pocket net, we want the owner's net to be at minimum 2x what they would have made with their current strategy. Because then it's very simple. It's like, hey, Mr. Landlord, I see you've been vacant for 66 days, tough market. We specialize in helping owners that can't find long-term tenants for their rentals, make money in the
Mm,
short term as an Airbnb. You've got a pretty profitable opportunity here to the tune of 176 grand. Let's chat. Well, you get the idea. You can charge whatever you want, right? So if you're looking, the owner's strategy was to make 53K. Well, if the owner here was going to make 2x that, that'd be what, 106,000? Two
mm,
times 53K is 106,000. So if the owner's net was 106,000, which would be a true 2x multiple, if the owner's putting in their pocket net 106 and the property's bringing in 176, that means you're making 70 grand off that property. Does that make sense?
mm.
So if it's
And that's with
176K,
doubling what they were already like even conceptualizing making based off of Craigslist or wherever they was listing that before Airbnb.
yeah. And the nice part about this is you can imagine because you're an entrepreneur, so you're probably thinking about this the way I am. I'm going, if I got an owner that's sitting vacant on the market for going on 3 months, so this is a fantasy. They're not making this. What if I just went in and I even offered them a break-even strategy? Well, if the owner was going to make 53 grand, right? That's what 120, 123 grand. Well, that could be
Mm,
yours if you just wanted to offer them break even. If you're going to the owner, hey, do you want to make double your money that you would have made with a strategy that currently isn't working for you? That'd be 106,000. So if the owner's net is double 106,000, that's 70 grand in your pocket from that one property,
mm,
which is the reason why this becomes fun because you start to take a look at this. And especially if you're coming in and you're like, dude, I'll hustle this. I don't want to swear, but if you're like, man, I'll get after it. The nice part about this is the majority of folks coming in, you don't need 50 of these properties. Sean and Ari are doing over 2 million per year with only 24 properties. We just had a gal get 9 properties literally within 60 days of joining the program. She had one meeting with an owner. He owned 11 properties in his rental portfolio. He contracted 9 of them with her during the same meeting. She launched 3 of them on the same day 3 weeks ago.
yes.
The nice part about this, and that's what circles back, kind of circles the boats to, well, 15 grand for the program. It's like, well, we got a 16-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid, excuse me. He just got 4 properties in month one. Well, 4 properties per month on average, right? With the average of 2 to 5K per month, that minimum 4 properties, he created 8K per month in cash flow. It's 96 grand per year. You already know this. If you took $1 million of your own money and
Mm,
you went and invested at 6%, you're making 60 grand a year. It's 5K per month. You go invest a million at 6%, you're getting back 5 grand a month. 5 grand a month is the average range of one co-listing. Or you just had a 19-year-old kid do that 4 times over in month one, let alone 6 months in the program. And he definitely did not spend $4 million to create that cash flow to join the program. The pay to play, if you finance it, is going to be less than 2,500 bucks out of pocket over a 6 month period backed by a full guarantee. It's like we have it structured this way because we know that makes sense. We've done this thousands of times,
mm. Okay.
so
And
at least that
I
gives
had
you
a
kind of a
question on
foundation.
there. Um,
Yep.
um, okay. I see. I forgot my question, but okay, that's good.
For me, I own 3 businesses, and I don't come from a silver spoon by any means. My dad stocked groceries for a living. I earned everything that I got,
Mm,
and I'm very proud of that. But at the same time, I put into things into perspective as a business owner, as I'm sure you do too. It's like
mm.
we try to make this make as much sense as possible. At the end of the day, we got a 6 month guarantee if nothing goes right. If our business model was to waste your time for 6 months and have nothing go right, we would have been gone years ago.
Yeah. And this is what I want to ask. Now, to read books, I've done Peer Space and I did a little bit of Airbnb. The biggest thing typically when you're trying to, with those people that's on Craigslist or they haven't been able to get the property rented out yet, their big issue typically is photos. Like they need better photos, they need better, advertising. And I understand that y'all boost the listing up, but what do you do for those people that just don't have good photos or they don't have a good
Yep.
actual Airbnb profile? Are we redoing the
Well, the nice
profile or?
Yep. So that's a really, really strong question, and many people don't ask that question. So the first thing is if the property's optimized, meaning you've already worked with the owner with your expertise, you've worked with them to get the property looking good. Well, when you're looking at a report from the actual B&B Analyzer AI software that we've built, well, historically over 4.5 years, this is 97.1% accurate, meaning there's only a 2.9% margin of error historically. If
Mm,
you're looking at 176K Airbnb through the analyzer, The property's not putting up a goose egg or 20 grand, right? It's not, it's there's a 2.9% margin of error, which
Mhm.
what is call it 3%. What's 3% of 176 grand? Call it 6,000 ballpark. Well, best case scenario, this property's putting up 182, worst case 170. It's not putting up a goose egg as long as it's optimized, which is nice because you can hang your hat on that. You're like, okay, well, if we're looking at the analyzer software and a property says it's a 36K per year property, you're not spending any time on it. We're going after the
Mhm.
ones that are profitable. Now that's an optimized property, right? Because it's
Mhm.
looking and aggregating 300 pieces of data to tell you how that property is going to do. That's assuming it's optimized. Well, you got to optimize it. So we can do as much as we want to optimize the listing, but at the end of the day, just like you said, you can put lipstick on a pig as long as you want. It's still a pig at the end of the
Right.
day, right? And for instance, so one of our students, Jonathan, he lives in Texas. I think I already mentioned this guy, but his first property was a six-bedroom penthouse in Rio. Right.
Mhm.
Well, he was on vacation. He didn't have any listings yet. Went on vacation. He's drinking on a rooftop bar, meets this guy, chats it up, and he goes, "Hey, this is what I do." The guy's like, "Oh, I've got a six-bedroom penthouse right here that I don't even live in. Let's do
Wow.
it." Well, he didn't list that property for 3.5 weeks because they needed to get it market ready. And what that looked like
Mhm.
was they painted an accent wall because everybody likes to go in on Instagram and they like to do their tagging or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, accent photo walls are really popular. Like if
Nice.
you're up in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, game rooms are really popular.
Mhm.
All these little things. Well, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. And this is why working with your coach you're gonna find very valuable is because when you're talking to an owner and you're like, hey, this property would bank money, it's doing well, but the owner needs to do a couple things. Well, you're either going to go through and create a value proposition with the owner where they're going to be like, yeah, no, of course, I'll do these things. And then we'll do one, two, three, four, help me out with this. If they knew how to do it, they would already be doing it. They don't.
Mhm.
So you're going to help them out, tell them exactly what needs to be done. You go through once it's done. Well, if you're listing market ready, then you go list. If you're not, then you may choose to go your separate ways. If you have an owner that is hard headed to the point where if we're sitting here and you're presenting a business case to me and you're going, Logan, you've been on the market for almost 3 months, right? Your plan is to make 40 grand. I'm going to help you make 180. But the
Mhm.
caveat being, you got to do a couple things, right? And I don't want to come out of pocket 1,500 bucks for a fresh can of paint or a fresh coat of paint and the $1,200 Pac-Man machine at Costco to put in the corner of my bedroom.
Right.
Well, if I'm not willing to do that, I may not be the best business partner for you to want to work with anyway,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So there's 1,000 ways to go about it because you'll have some properties that are ready to go. All you literally got to do is do some chat GPT and some Claude, optimize the listing, throw it in the Facebook group, and you're making money. We just had a gal get her first booking on Airbnb on day 5, first revenue in. So it's not uncommon to see properties that are 100% ready. It's also not
Mhm.
uncommon to see properties that need some help. And that's where you're going to be working with your coach. Sean went in, Sean just had a case study one on one with one of my enrollees. Her name was Ifiani. Well, because she had a property that just, she got it up, she got it on Airbnb. It was this exact issue. And she was picking Sean's brain about, hey, how do I optimize this listing? Well, within an hour long call, Sean went through 3 strategies with her. One strategy was actually as simple as using AI in a photo to actually show, do you know what open plan means? It's really popular
Mhm.
now in real estate. Open plan, open dining room, open kitchen, all kind of
Yeah.
one big space for the family. Well, the tweak that Sean helped her with was actually taking a photo of the open plan space that was the main entertaining space and actually putting people in it. People in the chairs, couple people over in the corner having a cocktail, mom and
Or just
grandma
put it
over
in the
together.
chat chat or something like that and get them to put the added people in there. That's crazy.
Night and day different. Now, those are the little tweaks that seem like they're just elementary, but those are the things that you
Mhm.
can go to an owner and you can say, hey, here's the business plan, here's the proposal that I have for you. You need to do X, Y, and Z. And this isn't just my humble opinion. This is me actually working with a multiple 7-figure per year super host that is my
Mhm.
direct partner that is helping me with this strategy. And then you go show them Sean, right? And you bring them to iconic retreats and corporate casas and you show them their portfolios that are doing over 2 million per year. And you say, hey, this isn't just my opinion. I'm an expert here, right? And
Mhm.
it's going to be a lot easier for you to do business with people that may just not be as open to the idea of, oh, I need to go put maybe 1,500 bucks into the
So
property
do you
before I
present
list.
yourself as an Airbnb expert, as a like how do you typically you tell your people to present themselves as?
We're going to go through a huge portion of this program is teaching you how to close business, right? So, and you're not going to have an issue with this like most people. And I shouldn't even say like most people because we have some incredible people in this community,
I've been in
but you're going to
sales
be
for
a little bit,
years, so and I really
yeah,
like
you're
it
going to
because
be a
when
little,
I watched the YouTube presentation, I loved how he broke it down. Because it's like,
yeah.
if you know how to just use those code words, there's no way they're not going to say yes, right? It's just now doing the thing. you
Well,
know.
you're going to an owner, and it's basically, Mr. Landlord, every single day you've been vacant for 3 months. Every day that you're vacant as a long-term rental, you're losing 147 bucks a day. Every day you're not listed with me on Airbnb, you're losing $844 per day. Let's get this thing
Yeah,
going.
it's like it's no way, bro. If you do that shit, like you said, if you don't speak Chinese, it's like no way you're not going to get that sale.
It's you, and I don't like to say you remind me of this, you remind me of this. You have a similar energy to a gal that came into our program. Her name was Ifiani, and she's the gal I keep referring to because she was awesome. She had great energy on the calls. Like, you're talented, you're gonna have no issue with this.
Hmm.
She locked down 9 properties from one owner, right? It's just,
That's awesome.
I mean, it is what it is, but a huge portion of this program is us teaching you how to lock down business, right? Because we don't
Hmm.
want you going into a call, even being a talented salesperson. If you go in and you're looking at an $8,000 per month opportunity, and for any reason you drop the ball because you get asked a tough question or something along those lines, we
Hmm.
don't see that as acceptable for us. We see that as we've failed you, because that's not why you're
Hmm.
joining a program, is to be on your own, just flying around doing your own thing. And you're going to pick that once you've done this once, you've done it 1,000 times. But a huge portion of this program is Sean's doing over 2 million per year. You're going to listen to Sean on actual thorough sales calls, close business. You're going to close your coaches on mock role play calls. You're going to be dialed, right? We come in here, and this is what I wanted to show you real quick, is one, if somebody's pressing you on credentials, we give you a full credentialed website with portfolio for credibility, all real properties on Airbnb with real guest reviews. We're not dwelling on this. It's as simple as myself and my partners. Our active portfolio under management is shown on our site. A huge portion of the program here is teaching you to close business. And again, you're going to be doing this directly with your coach. However, we don't expect you to go draft a contract with an attorney. We just give you the co-listing agreement. Everything that you're going to change is going to be highlighted here in yellow. And just like any strong business partnership, you're going to discuss the divorce in advance of the marriage, right? There's no stone left unturned. You know where you have risk, where you have leverage, where the owner has risk and leverage inside of the contract. At the end of the day, they're the owner. There's no difference for the owner if a meteor falls through the roof or if a pipe bursts. If they have a long-term tenant, than if they have a short-term tenant. They're still the owner, right? And there's no
Yeah.
question about that. So as you're presenting this, it's like, I mean, you've been in sales, you know how this goes. It's like you'll present yourself how you want to. You don't want to say things or over exaggerate. You want to under promise, over deliver,
Mhm.
so that if anything goes wrong and you're like, oh, damn, you don't want to have to say that and put your foot in your mouth. You want to be able to go in humbly and be able to present on a moderate level. And then if you crush and knock it out of the park for somebody, they're going to be like, all right,
Mhm.
so we try to do that too. I mean, that's just best practice.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're a perfect fit. I would love to get you in. So I would say the options, just for me to hopefully lead the process here instead of just kind of sitting here staring at you. It's like you'd have to be over a 750 or a 650, excuse me, to qualify for
Mhm.
financing. If your business partner is above the 650, then we certainly bring in partners all the time. He can co-sign. You guys can join the program together. Otherwise, your minimum barrier to entry would be 8K for a pay in full. And that's me really kind of digging deep into the scholarship funds to bring you in, because normally our pay in full is 10, but I'd bring you in for 8. If you finance, you'll finance 15. But what that means is that out of pocket over a 6 month period, worst case scenario, you're less than 2,500 bucks out of pocket, backed by a full performance guarantee, which would be zero out of pocket if it doesn't go right.
Okay. And with that 6 months money back guarantee, what are the fine print like? The like is there? Because I know sometimes it's like as long as you do X, Y, and Z,
It's,
you
yeah,
qualify for that.
and that's exactly what it is. It's white and black. There is no room for ambiguity because we've done this 1,000 times. And we protect ourselves as a company because, and we try to weed folks out. We're really protective. If I have 10 of these calls, I'll make 6 invitations or less into the group. It's not a good fit for everybody. And I hate, it's nothing against age, but typically these young guns, these Gen Zs that are coming on these calls, and you're like, average 2 to 5K per month per property. They're like, that's it. It's like, hey man, go day trade, go do whatever, stay on TikTok. And when you're
Right.
ready to build a real business, come back. But it's, if somebody comes in and they say statistically it's something horrendous, it's like 70 whatever percent of people join a program and don't even log in. Okay, well, if somebody ghosts us for 6 months and a day and comes back and wants a refund, we're not going to honor that as a company. That makes zero sense,
Mhm.
right? If you go through the program and we make sure we have a great call, we make sure that you are committed to the program and you're here to get a result. Well, we know how to do that. So if you come in, if you're working with, if you don't ghost us, if you're working with your coach, going through the program, actually trying to get a result, if you're not successful over a 6 month period, we're giving you a full refund. It's very, very simple. If you come in and you decide in 3 days, right? Oh my gosh, one of those things. And you'd imagine people will do this. They'll go talk to their spouse. They'll have a freak out moment overnight, a week and a half in, and they go, "Oh, I'm not just going to wake up and be, an Airbnb millionaire. I'm going to have to actually send out property reports, schedule meetings. This is going to require real work to build my business." We are just the leverage to help you, right?
Mhm.
We're just here as a consultant coach to help you build your business. You already know there's no magic pill to build a business. You're going to have to do the work. And some people, it's like they go through these fairy tale calls, and I can be as blunt and direct with people as I possibly can. And then they'll wake up in a week and a half and go, "Oh shit, I actually have to do work to build my business. That call was not reality. That call was like talking about a dream, but now I actually have to do the work." Well, yeah, you do. But if you do that and you're unsuccessful, we got a full refund waiting for you if it doesn't work.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
So,
Well, I'm gonna run this by my business partner. He definitely has over a 650 credit score. And like I said, I'm working on mine. Mine should be back up to around 650, 680 in about a month or two, 2 months hopefully.
oh, good.
I'll
Good.
be shooting back up there. I had a 700 last year, but business was business and the stuff just kind of fell apart a little bit on me. Some stuff just kind of went up with a ray. But
Yeah, things happen. I know. I know.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
we're
it's
getting back
unfortunate too,
into it.
but
Yeah, we're getting back into it. So I'm gonna run this by him. I got a good little bit of it in my brain, and then maybe we can schedule another call. And if we do it, I'll make sure like I said, I respect your time because I can tell just from your resume, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. So I'll
yeah,
I'll make sure
and I
we do it.
appreciate that. And I appreciate that because you're a perfect fit. It's not, and I say this as humbly as I can, but it's for you, it's not for us. On Sean and Ari started 10X B&B to really try to help people change their life. I mean, and I'm sure you're doing well for yourself too. For me, when I started my businesses twice, I've been in over 110,000 in credit card debt twice starting my businesses. And I feel very grateful to have come out of that. Now I'm doing okay for myself. But it's things happen along the way trying to make it,
Mhm.
man. Things happen. And there is no doubt in my mind, if you choose to sink your teeth into this program, this will be a because great people, hardworking people, and you don't strike me as the type of guy that's lazy. Hardworking people just need the right vehicle. And once you can get yourself in the right vehicle, that's all it takes for people to take off. So, I'll look forward to hearing back from you, man, because I hope that we can I hope that we can get you in because I'm sure that you would do very well here.
Yes, sir. Oh, and last thing, do y'all help people actually become Airbnb hosts as well? Like if I want, like I'm doing this
Yeah.
and I'm getting people like, then I want to actually get a property and become a host. Y'all help
Yes.
people with that process too?
100%. And I think the ultimate way to do it, I mean, I kind of, to put it into perspective, I mean, Sean and Ari, they're doing usually on average between 2.2 and $2.4 million per year. They got plenty of cash to go scoop up as many properties as they want. They choose to co-host for a reason or to
Mhm.
co-list for a reason. But if you are able to get into the right advisor, like I got a partner down in not Sonoma, Arizona, and he
Mhm.
specialized as an agent in helping people find profitable Airbnb opportunities and actually set them up. Certain markets actually dominate for owners. Other markets, it's tough because you're carrying a lot of risk with a mortgage on a property and you're coming out of pocket at minimum, typically 20% down for a DSCR investor loan. So if you do want to purchase, whether it be now or down the road, absolutely we'll help you with that process. We just want to make sure we're really, really careful with that process because sometimes it seems more attractive than it is once the rubber hits the road and we're actually
Got it.
looking at a balance sheet for a property.
Got it. Got it.
You
Okay.
know what I mean? But yeah, the short answer is not to be long-winded. The short answer is 100%. Yeah, we'll help you with that for
Nice.
sure.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Mr. Logan. And
Yeah, you too.
I'll be. Is that numbered? Is that your line or is that just like a?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So
Yep. So
I'll call him and I'll shoot you a text.
that sounds good. As soon as we jump off, I'm going to send you another thing too. Sean does a really nice video series on frequently asked questions about the program.
Okay.
And between yourself and your partner, if you want to show your partner the original training, just so he knows what we're doing over here, and then if you guys have time to go through some of the FAQs, when we jump back on the next call, if your partner has a little bit of a foundation of the information that we went through here, I don't need to take another hour of your time. I can get you guys right through this, and enrollment literally takes 5 minutes. It's a piece of cake.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right, cool, man. Nice speaking with
All
you.
right.